For 50 years, humanity patiently endured insults and exploitation from a galactic council of 200 species. Every petition for full membership was denied. Earth was deemed too primitive, too young to understand galactic complexities. Diplomatic smiles and polite requests were met with smug disdain. Ambassador Sarah Chen filed the same report year after year. Council relations stable. Recommend continued diplomatic engagement. Humanity's policy was simple. Be patient. Be polite. Show them we're civilized. But patience was mistaken for weakness. Trade regulations were designed to drain Earth's resources. Human colonies were restricted to barren systems. When a resource-rich world was discovered, the Council declared it a protected heritage site and banned human activity. President Catherine Wells insisted they follow the rules. The alternative is war. She'd say, we play by their rules. Eventually, they'll accept us. But the slights kept coming. Trade ships were harassed. Borders were violated. The Council always sided against Earth. Then came New Providence, a model colony built over 20 years by 300,000 hard-working humans. They followed every rule, filed every form. But the Vac sovereignty suddenly claimed the planet, citing a non-existent ancient treaty. President Wells, seeking to avoid conflict, ordered an evacuation. It wasn't enough. The Vacs weren't just taking the planet. They were sending a message. As civilian evacuation transports arrived, Vax warships opened fire without warning. 6 ships were destroyed. 43,000 men, women, and children were murdered in 17 minutes. Earth demanded justice. The Council called it an unfortunate misunderstanding. The Vax claimed the civilian ships were hostile. The Council's investigation found insufficient evidence to prosecute. The matter was closed. For Earth, something had fundamentally broken. Ambassador Chen received new instructions. Not a report, not a recommendation, but a single chilling sentence. No more patience. At the next council session, Ambassador Chun's seat was occupied by Admiral Marcus Hayes in full military dress. The chamber fell silent. Sending a military officer was an unprecedented insult. That was the point. Where is Ambassador Chen? Councillor Thexfara demanded. Ambassador Chen resigned, Hayes replied. I'm her replacement. This is highly irregular, Thexfara stammered. So is murdering 43,000 civilians and calling it a misunderstanding, Hayes shot back, his voice like ice. Let me clarify Earth's new position. For 50 years, we played by your rules. We said please and thank you. We followed procedures. We did this because we believed in your ideals of justice and equality. The New Providence massacre proved those ideals are lies. You don't want members. You want subjects. You mistook our patience for weakness. That ends today. A delegate shouted, You cannot threaten this council. I'm not threatening, Hayes said, projecting a star map. I'm educating. Earth has 53 colony worlds. As of yesterday, all are fortified. We have withdrawn from all council trade agreements. We have seized Tyrellian ships in our space for unpaid passage fees. We have ejected Rex settlers from our zones. Any council ship entering human space without permission will be destroyed. Any attack on human assets will be met with overwhelming retaliation. You dare, Vexvara began. We dare, Hayes interrupted. You taught us that law only protects those the council favors. So we'll make our own law. You want to call us primitive? Fine. Let me show you what primitives do when you murder their families. The chamber erupted in outrage. Earth will face sanctions, Vexvara declared once the noise subsided. Economic isolation. Hayes just smiled. Starve. We're self-sufficient. Your trade benefited you far more than us. 3/4 of you rely on our agricultural products. We're cutting exports by 90%. We'll keep enough for ourselves and our actual friends. The Council will not tolerate this rebellion. Then enforce your will, Hayes challenged. Send your fleets. Test our defenses. Learn why we say please not because we're weak, but because we know exactly what happens when we don't. For 5 decades, while smiling at insults, Earth had been preparing. Human engineers designed warships. Human scientists advanced weapons. Human tacticians studied every species' military patience was never weakness. It was preparation. The Vax sovereignty was the first to test Earth's resolve. They sent 20 warships. Earth's response was surgical and devastating. In 8 minutes, 16 Vax warships were disabled, not destroyed. Weapons gone, engines dead, life support intact. The remaining 4 fled. A message was broadcast to the galaxy. This is mercy. Attack us again, and we demonstrate justice. The Terrellian Consortium, after having 200 of their ships seized, quickly paid 50 years of back fees to get them back. The Vrex settlers on human worlds were given 24 hours to leave or face human courts. Most left. The galactic economy trembled. Without human exports, billions suffered. Species began approaching Earth privately, forging bilateral agreements based on fair trade and mutual respect. The Council's monopoly shattered. President Wells addressed humanity. For 50 years, we tried to join the galactic community as equals. We were rejected, exploited, and attacked. We learned a hard truth. The Council respects only strength. So we'll demonstrate strength, but we will also demonstrate humanity's true ideals: justice, fairness, and protection for those who cannot protect themselves. Earth became a magnet for dissatisfied species. A new alliance formed, the Federation of Free Worlds, with Earth as an equal partner. The old council, fractured and diminished, watched its power fade. Humanity never sought domination, only partnership. They traded fairly and defended their allies with fierce loyalty. Years later, a reporter asked former Ambassador Chen why humanity had waited so long. "Because we had to be sure," she explained. Sure that negotiation was impossible. Sure that justice couldn't be achieved through their system. Sure that when we finally acted, we would be unquestionably right. We gave them 50 years to prove they were worth trusting. They proved the opposite. So we built something better. The galaxy learned a hard lesson about humans. Their patience is not weakness, but restraint. Their politeness is not submission, but civilization, and when they finally stop being polite, it's because they have made a very deliberate and terrifying decision about what comes next. The galaxy never forgot New Providence, not because humanity sought vengeance, but because they demanded justice and showed everyone what it truly meant to be civilized. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.